This is a look at Capitol Hill. When the lights are on up top, that means they're still in session. Remember, it's 10:15 p.m. Eastern there. They're still in session, and they could be in session for a lot longer as they try to figure out if they can get the votes tonight. Here's a guy who's going to help us break down everything that's happening right now. The White House reporter for Politico, Agora High School's pride, Alex Thompson joins us once again. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so if you had to make it real simple, what's happening right now? Because it seems like it's a mess.
Well, your read is right. It's a huge mess. Essentially, there are two huge bills. Cumulatively, they are worth at least $4 trillion. And the fact is that they are two separate bills. Progressives really like one of them, centrists really like the other, and they don't have the votes to pass both. And yet they have committed to holding a vote on one of them tonight. And that's why you're seeing them burn the midnight oil here. But the fact of the matter is that Nancy Pelosi has said that she won't bring the bill to the floor until she has the votes. And they don't have the votes. That's very much clear. I would not be surprised. People on the Hill are now suspecting that they are actually not going to call a vote tonight, that they are going to stretch really late, probably 1 a.m., 2 a.m., call tonight. They're going to come back tomorrow and do this all over again.
Well, let's break down those two bills that you just talked about and put this up on the screen, if you would. So you got the two bills. There's the bipartisan infrastructure bill. This is something that senators on the right even supported. We'll put up some of the information here. This would be funding for roads and bridges, broadband upgrade, upgrading airports, electric vehicles, bullet text, environmental remediation. All of that is part of that. So that's one. We know that the moderates like that. Then the people on the left say, we don't want to pass that unless we get the progressive agenda. So let's put that up on the screen. This is the Build Back Better bill, they call this. Human infrastructure. 2 years free community college, combating climate change, extending the child tax credit, tax cuts for women without, workers without children, paid family medical leave. That's all part of that. And then so you've got the folks on the left, and then you got folks that are more on the right of the Democratic side. That's Joe Manchin in West Virginia, Kristen Sinema of Arizona. What are they saying at this point?
Well, those two senators are really at the eye of the storm here. They basically are saying, you had on your screen right there, $3.5 trillion, the second bill. Manchin came out today and said, I'm not seeing past $1.5 trillion. Now, he had told a few Democrats that, but that was news to a lot of these Democrats that had no idea that Manchin actually wanted $2 trillion less. It's thrown every single sort of screw and wrench into the system. I can tell you, even a lot of White House officials did not know that Manchin was at 1.5 trillion. Today, they were sort of ruefully calling him King Manchin, and they were calling Kristen Sinema Speaker Sinema, because they've been so frustrated that these two senators are now holding the entire Biden agenda hostage.
Well, let's talk about that more, because we know the president has communicated a lot with those two senators. He, of course, was a senator for so many years, has made bipartisan compromise the centerpiece of his presidential run. What happens if this doesn't pass?
It's not good. And in fact, there is no plan B, because as you sort of stated, his entire candidacy, his entire presidency is based on, we can get things done in Washington again. As he said in his inaugural address, we can end this uncivil war. And getting the infrastructure bill through the Senate was step one in that. But he also wants to create huge overarching change. And the fact of the matter is that if he cannot get the votes to get both these bills through, it is going to be very difficult for him to have a message coming into the next year. His entire presidency, his entire message, not just for the 2022 midterms, but for a potential 2024 reelection, is based on these two bills passing along with the early COVID relief bill. So the stakes really could not be higher. And honestly, the White House does not have a plan B if this does not work.
And meanwhile, the Speaker of the House, who's known as a master legislator and calls herself that, today used the word that a culmination, that this bill could be the culmination of her career. What does she mean by that? Could we be seeing retirement?
Well, some reporters asked her right after that, and she sort of dismissed the idea of retirement. But I can tell you that whispers of her retiring after this bill passes have been all over the Democratic side of the Hill. Lots of Democrats have been speculating that this is going to be the end, that she's not even going to make it all the way through November of 2022, that as soon as these big bills are passed, that she is going to ride off into the sunset, enjoy herself, and then new Democratic leaders are going to come, and we're going to see the end of one of the longest legacies of a Democratic power broker in American history.
Well, and you think about all of the top Democrats right now. You've got Joe Biden at 78, Nancy Pelosi in her 80s. All of her top two deputies are both around 80 years old as well. So there's a whole new generation that's been waiting in the wings for some time. Alex Thompson, you're part of the new generation of White House reporters, and it's great to have you on the show. Thank you for breaking things down, and I would say enjoy some rest, but it seems like you're probably going to be up for a while.
I think that's right. Always a pleasure to be on. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much.